Hi there, it's February the 8th, and we're continuing tracing our progress through the good news of Matthew, and we are going from Matthew 25, verse 31, through to Matthew chapter 26 and verse 13. Jesus speaks here of the importance of the regarding of the other in his kingdom. In the final analysis, in the final condition of men, what is really important is how we have treated one another. And here Jesus envisages in the last analysis, in the last judgment, in the last day, there being a separation. And the separation is not on the basis of who says, I believe in Jesus, I don't. The separation is on the basis of the actions that have been carried out and the ways in which we have regarded and looked on the other. Here Jesus sees those who are sheep put on one side, represented by sheep put on one side, and God says to them, because you have cared for the other, because you have clothed the naked, because you have fed the hungry, because you have visited those in prison, because you've healed the sick, then you are welcome into the kingdom of heaven. But to those who are on the other side, to what are characterized as goats, the Father says, you have not shown love, you've not shown care, you've not visited me, you've not come and seen me. And of course those who are given the approval of Jesus, the approval of the King, say, how did we do this for you? We haven't seen you, we didn't do this for you personally. Jesus says, no, because you did this for the little ones, because you did this for the ones who didn't seem important, you've done it to me. And likewise to the goats, he says, because you've not acted in this way towards me, that because them you've not acted in this way towards me, and therefore he dismisses them. There's something very key here about the factor of the other. In the other we encounter the image of God. Every one of us made in the image of God is carrying something of God's likeness within us. And when we touch the other, when we reach out to the other, we're reaching out in them to the image of God. It's a very important principle Jesus establishes here, that in order to love him, we are to love our fellow human being, our fellow person. We are to show them mercy. In the beginning of chapter 26, we see that the authorities are ganging together to capture Jesus and to kill him. They want him done away with. And in an encounter at the house of Simon the leper, Matthew has it, a woman comes and anoints Jesus with a very expensive alabaster box of perfume. This perfume probably would have been her dowry, would have been set aside for her marriage, for her, even for providing for her in a widowhood. But here she gives it all. She pours it all out on the body of Jesus. And the disciples, the apprentices, are scandalized by this, and they say, this is such a waste, this is such an extravagance, this could have been sold for the poor, this could have been given away. And Jesus says, no, she's done a beautiful thing, because she's actually anointing my body against my burial. She's doing something prophetic, a prophetic act which is showing her devotion to me. And he actually says, wherever this story is told, wherever this good news is told, her story will be told. And here we are 2,000 years later, still hearing the story of the devotion of this woman with her precious ointment. It's a beautiful picture of worship, beautiful picture of giving to Jesus, of pouring our lives out over Jesus. But we mustn't forget what we've read earlier at the end of chapter 25, that it's also an expression of worship to pour our lives out over the other, that as we give to the other, as we share with the other, the one who may be foreign to us, the one who we don't know, the one who is different to us, in that way we're also ministering to Jesus as well. Have a very good February the 8th.